Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Mariah Carey is raking in the dough during the holidays. The Economist reports she gets about $2 million a year in royalties for All I Want for Christmas Is You. The song came out 29 years ago. That's crazy. I didn't even realize it was
Only $2 million a year for her lifestyle, her champagne life, her champagne and caviar
crazy,
lifestyle.
that one song.
And, sorry.
That was close.
It was not even close. A group of people got stuck on a ride in Universal Studios in Florida. Check this out. They got stuck while going up a 90-degree vertical lift on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket.
I don't know if it's going to play.
Oh, no. Well, I'm sure it would be scary. Oh, it's not a video? Oh, so they just got scared going up that thing? Yeah, I don't. Oh, I see. They're upset. They're right here. And then they're just like laying back like this, like, ah! You know, there's a visual for you. Wow.
The older I get, the more terrified I am of roller coasters.
No near-death experiences for me. I think I'm good.
Yeah. And over in California's Disneyland, a video shows this man just hanging out on the ride. It's a small world. He eventually stripped naked before police arrested him. I thought,
they really got to do something about the bath salts down there in Florida.
Sir.
Yeah.
No, this is in California.
Oh, well.
This is at Disneyland in California.
So California is now Florida? That's what this is like? Okay.
Sir.
He needs some help.
What is going on?
Oh, wow.
After waking up to a freezing cold morning in the Miami Valley.
Oh, yeah. Guess what? We also saw some snowflakes. That's right. Let's check in with meteorologist Natalie Walters. Natalie, what's that all about? Come on.
I mean, it's that time of the year. We are almost there. Meteorological winter is just a few days away, but it is cold out there this morning. Bundle up. We're in the upper 20s, lower 30s. 30 in Dayton. We got 30 Urbana, 28 Wapakoneta, 28 in Richmond. All of us sitting, feeling colder, I should say, with wind chills in the teens and 20s. 20 in Eaton is what it feels like. 17 Richmond, 19 is what it feels like in Troy. So bundle up if you're heading outside, and it gets even colder. Tomorrow night's expected to be a colder night, but heading out for that morning commute should be pretty good, pretty quiet. Keep in mind, lots of folks heading back to work after a long weekend, so you may want to allow a little bit of extra time staying quiet for the evening commute as well. And traveling around the region, we do have lake effect snow and some winds that will be through Cleveland, but otherwise not too bad across the region for the day today. That's a quick look at our forecast. Quick look at the roads. Not too bad as well. As of right now, no reports of any accidents. Again, as I mentioned earlier, folks heading back to work and school after a long weekend, so you may want to allow a little bit of extra time for that morning commute.
Kids in Centerville can soon get easier access to pediatric health care. Dayton Children's Hospital is opening a new Kids Express location tomorrow. The on-demand service treats kids 6 weeks to 18 years old. It'll be open 7 days a week with specially trained pediatric nurses. They can treat ear and sinus infections, cold and flu symptoms, COVID-19, and much more. That new location opens tomorrow at the Sugar Creek Plaza on Wilmington Pike.
A teenager is still recovering after a shooting Saturday night. It happened just before 6 p.m. off of West Fairview Avenue. A 15-year-old was shot in the neck and taken to Miami Valley Hospital. The teen is expected to be okay. Police are still searching for suspects.
Today, she's free, and Jill and I, together with so many Americans, are praying for the fact that she is going to be all right. You know, she's free and she's in Israel now.
People across the U.S. celebrating the release of some hostages in Gaza, including 4-year-old Abigail Eden. She was one of hundreds being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza. Hamas turning over 13 Israelis, 8 children, and 5 women to the International Red Cross. The group also released 12 citizens from Thailand, and Israel freed 39 jailed Palestinians Saturday.
So we're going to continue to be diligent and vigilant in doing all that we can in that regard to ensure that there is humanitarian aid going in, that hostages are going out, and our highest priority, of course, are the American citizens who are being held.
And that was Vice President Kamala Harris after the initial release of hostages on Saturday. She says the return of American hostages remains the Biden administration's highest priority.
We now want to give you a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, where this week the Senate and House are expected to vote on different aid packages related to the Israel-Hamas conflict, including one that will give aid to Israel and Ukraine. Now, Congressman Mike Turner predicting a difficult path forward for any package relating to the two conflicts. Now, the Ohio Republican saying such a bill is unlikely to pass before the end of the year. He believes that's because President Biden also tied funding for the southern border into the request, apart from the $60 billion for Ukraine and $14 billion for Israel. Biden's also asking for $14 billion for border security.
It's going to need policy changes. Congress is going to require that there be laws changed to make certain that the border returns to its prior state, perhaps remain in Mexico, other types of provisions that would secure the southern border.
House Republicans passed a $14 billion aid deal just for Israel earlier this month, but that package faces an uphill battle in the Senate as well as opposition from the White House because it leaves out Ukraine and uses funds cut from the IRS. People flocked to Dayton to burn off those Thanksgiving calories for a good cause. The city held its 9th annual turkey trot just yesterday.
Yeah, Abby Forbes shares how this run gives back to our community.
More than 1,000 people gathered at Welcome Stadium to run in this year's Dayton Turkey Trot. People are up bright and early for this year's run. They had the option of running a 5K or a half marathon, and the top runners received awards. But the run is about more than winning, with a portion of the proceeds going to a charity each year. This year to the YWCA.
It's a very great partnership that we've been working with them for many years, and then we think that they have support great cause, and we love helping supporting great cause as well.
If you missed out this year, don't worry. It'll be going on again next year, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Back to you.
The Dayton unit in NAACP is hosting a town hall tonight about Miami Valley veterans. The Veterans Serving Veterans event will happen at 6:45 at Grace United Methodist Church. If you can't attend, you can watch the meeting recording at naacpdayton.org.
Dayton Metro Library is ringing in the holiday season. They're kicking off a new array of programs for all ages. Tonight at Northmont Branch, you could head out and watch a screening of Elf. That starts at 6 tonight. Make sure you register your family in advance. The library has more events across the branches all season long. Check them out, DaytonMetroLibrary.org.
Have you started watching Christmas movies yet?
We watched Elf, Home Alone, The Santa Claus.
You watched them all?
We tore through them all this weekend.
Goodness gracious.
My kids keep me up to date.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to until December, which is this week, so.
Booyah.
I'll take it. Our time right now is 5:38. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
What do you call a deer that costs $1? A buck. This deer couldn't wait to get her hands or hooves on Black Friday deals. Just had the shocking body camera footage from this weekend.
And the Bengals taking on the Steelers at home last night. Just ahead, Matt Digby breaks down the game.
You're watching Your Day. Trivia starts Monday, December 4th. You have a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card each day or be the $5,000 weekly winner. Just watch your day and look for the QR code to enter and win. For complete contest rules, go to Dayton247now.com. Holiday Trivia is sponsored by Thresh & Sons.
Well, check this out. Video of a deer apparently getting a jump on some Black Friday shopping. Yeah, take a look at this. Oh my God. Police in Rockland, Maine responding to an alarm call. Oh, poor little thing, so scared. This is a store on Thanksgiving. Officers were expecting to find a burglar or intruder, but instead they found this white-tailed deer running around, knocking things over and causing mayhem. It had apparently smashed through the large front glass window to get in. Store managers helped police herd the deer outside. Officers say the animal was not seriously injured. He was just trying to find his friend Santa Claus.
I feel like this has been happening a lot lately. We've been seeing a lot of videos similar to this.
I saw one like at a restaurant or something.
Oh yeah, and it like hurt the girl when it was a table. Yeah.
Well, they had those bear videos for a while of them breaking into the homes, into the fridges and stuff.
Yeah.
I think we probably just have more cameras now.
Yeah,
right.
True.
So-
To capture the moments. Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, poor
Right.
little thing. I just feel bad
Yeah,
because
he's
you
probably
don't.
so scared.
Yeah.
Hopefully he didn't get hurt.
No,
Yeah.
but you know.
They walking straight through the window too, so I'm sure that's a shock.
Yeah.
Probably hurt a little
Try,
bit, but
try,
I'm
try-
glad it wasn't hurt.
Hey, I'm busting back in through the window just to get out of the weather today. That was pretty lame. That was so lame.
That was so bad.
So lame. I tried.
Wow.
Good segue, yes. We got 30s and 20s across the area. It's cold. You'll want to be inside bundled up this morning. 29 in Troy. We have 28 up in Wapakoneta, 30 in Urbana. We have 30 in Springfield. So it is a very cold start to the day. Factoring in the wind, it feels colder. So we are tracking a wind chill during the day today. It'll feel like the 20s during most of the day, but tonight it's actually going to feel even colder. So wind chills right now in the teens, feels like 18 in Dayton, feels like 19 in Troy. And then expect wind chills to potentially even drop below zero as we look into the day tomorrow. So it is going to be a cold one to start off the day. Today, still chilly, below normal, more than 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year with our highs that'll be back in the mid 30s. Mix of sun and clouds. But again, cold winter-like start to the week. I'll talk about when we see our temperatures warm back up a bit and when we get some rain back in the picture. That's coming up in just a bit as well.
Our time right now is 5:44. How did the Christmas tree rivals get along? They signed a peace treaty. Oh gosh. Just that the unique tilting tree out of South Dakota.
Our producer was Googling dad Christmas jokes,
yeah,
so there you go.
Sally.
You're watching your day.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Hey, good morning, everyone. You will need a coat if you are heading out this morning, some winter gear, maybe a little time to warm up your car this morning because it is a cold one. Temperatures across the area this morning, they are hanging out in the 30s and 20s are going to be expected across the area as we head into the afternoon for our wind chill. So it is going to feel pretty cold across the area. Again, temperatures today only in the mid 30s. We eventually do start to see our temperatures begin to climb back into the 50s by later this week. But for right now, we're sitting at 30 in Dayton, 28 in Lima. We have 31 in Toledo. Again, all of us sitting pretty chilly with those winds. It does feel even colder. Factoring in that wind, it feels like the teens this morning. But I'll have a look at our 7-day, talk about what we're expecting for the rest of the week coming up here in just a bit.
Hello, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. It's been more than a week since Joe Burrow's wrist injury that ended his 2023 season early. So Jake Browning is the next man up, making his first NFL start, and the Cincinnati Bengals going for their first division win of the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go to Paycor Stadium. Steelers would punt on their first drive, but Browning has quite the introduction to the Pittsburgh defense. Looking for an open man on third down, TJ Watt forces a fumble. Jonah Williams prevents the turnover, but the Steelers still get great field position in the red zone. A handoff to Jalen Warren. He'll go up the left side, but the ball is knocked loose here. It's recovered by DJ Turner, who gets a great return out of it as well. However, the Steelers do kick a field goal later to go up 3-0. Second quarter, Bengals would answer. Browning will find Drew Sample open on the far sideline. Sample able to muscle his way into the end zone. Home team is up 7-3 at halftime. Third quarter, Bengals are in the red zone again. Browning trying to get into a groove. However, this throw to his left is going to be intended for Jamar Chase. Intercepted by Trenton Thompson. That stopped the drive, and then the Steelers then go on the long drive of their own and capitalize. Najee Harris up the middle at first, but cuts left and takes it to the outside for a touchdown. Visitors back in front 10-7. They would kick a pair of field goals, so leading 16-7 in the fourth. Browning with a short completion to Joe Mixon, who gets multiple blocks. A first down pass midfield. The Bengals kick the field goal to make it a one-score game, then go for an onside kick, but the Steelers recover and go on to win 16-10 the final. The Bengals have now lost 3 straight and are now 5-6.
I thought he handled some things really well for us, and it's a tough task to play a divisional game versus a good defense in your first game. There's going to be plenty of things he can learn from. I told him just welcome. This is just the first chapter in his story, of getting to play a real football game and getting a chance to assess his performance.
Some ups, some downs. Definitely not my best game. Just try to keep fighting. I think starting with the first drive, kind of getting settled in. Felt like there were times where I was settled in. It was not up to my standard of how I would have liked to play.
So 6 games left in the regular season for the Cincinnati Bengals. They will be on the road next Monday night when they take on the leaders in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
It was an exciting weekend for high school football. 4 teams from the Miami Valley heading to Canton next weekend for the state championship games. Versailles is the first of the area teams to play Friday morning, with Springfield meeting St. Edward that night. Then Saturday, Marion Local plays for the Division 7 title against Dalton. And Saturday night, the Altar Knights will play for the Division 4 crown against reigning state champion Cleveland Glenville. Best of luck to all 4 local teams heading to Canton.
Rapid City, South Dakota is leaning into the holiday spirit with this unique Christmas tree.
This year's tree is the largest we've ever had and ended up not quite as planned. And we have a little bit of a tilt.
This is Eileen, the Christmas tree posted up in Main Street Square. The tree got its name because it leans to one side. No word on what happened to Eileen or why it decided to favor one side over the other. Although it's tilted, city officials say the tree is extremely stable and won't fall down. Eileen is a local tree straight from the heart of the Black Hills. I love how they've just embraced it. And
right, they're like, all right, this is it.
Do you think that people are going to take pictures with it like they do at the Leaning Tower of Pisa, where they trying to hold it up? Yeah.
Why not?
I remember a couple of years ago, Cincinnati had a Charlie Brown type of Christmas tree, and everybody was just like, what is happening? Because it's so patchy. Does this
Yeah.
fall
It's
into
not
the?
really about the quality.
This really isn't Charlie Brown variety. This looks more like a Grinch, like Whoville Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
all
Yeah,
turned.
all twisty and turning.
There were no lights on it at that picture just
yeah,
yet.
they
Not
also
yet.
have to decorate
So I'll have
it,
to
so-
see it. That would be cool to see it with the lights on and everything.
Yeah,
but
maybe they'll have fun with that.
yeah, maybe so.
That or they're just gonna have an awkward tree for a year.
Right.
I guess we'll see. Our time right now is 5:52. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, everyone. Waking up to a very cold start to the day. Overall, quieter weather. We have a break in the clouds, but we do see some more clouds building back in. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds during the day today, but check out off to the north, some wintry precipitation. They're going to be dealing with some lake effect snowfall just east of Cleveland. Some places expected to see more than 6 inches of snowfall as we head into these next 24 hours or so. But for us here, maybe a flurry or two, but we're just going to be cold, 20s and 30s across the area. We got 30 in Dayton, 28 in Richmond, 28 up in Wapakoneta right now, 30 in Urbana with the wind that makes it feel colder. So it does feel like the teens at this hour, and then heading through the rest of the day today. Again, getting in those mid 30s. We'll see some clouds streaming through. This is about 7 p.m. Tonight it gets even colder. We're going to drop down into the lower 20s, maybe even some teens across the board, factoring in the wind. Wind chills potentially in the single digits, and then it's going to stay and struggle to get out of the 20s for our Tuesday afternoon. So overall, we got a pretty chilly forecast ahead for us as we head into these next couple of days, but we do eventually see our temperatures rebound heading into the longer term. You can see that here as we track our next 7 days with 30s these next couple of days. Tuesday is our coldest day, and then we rebound into the lower 40s Wednesday, Thursday back up to 50 degrees. Got a chance for rain Friday as well as Saturday, or Sunday, I should say, with our highs that get back up into the 50s as well. That's a look at our forecast. Quick look at what's going on our roads this morning. Still no delays across the area, but as folks are heading back to work and school after a long weekend, you may want to allow some extra time for that morning commute.
NASA may soon be able to probe deeper into space and find out more about the origin of the universe, thanks to a new laser communications technology. The laser, designed to be the most distant experiment of high bandwidth laser communications, is embedded in the Psyche spacecraft. It just sent back its first data from beyond the moon, a big milestone for the project. The laser can send data at 10 to 100 times the speed of traditional radio wave systems used by NASA. It is successful. The technology could be used to communicate with humans exploring Mars. Very cool.
A police sergeant in Georgia managing to nab an escapee who was just hopping around this weekend. Take a look at this. The Gilmer County Sheriff's Office sharing this image of the sergeant with a suspect in question on social media. A 3-foot-tall kangaroo named Stevie. The Sheriff's Office says the missing marsupial was visiting the Elijah area with his owner, who was from out of state. The Sheriff's Office even issued a "Be on the lookout" post on social media for Stevie and had added that it was not a joke. But as you can see, his time on the run was short-lived. I would be scared going up to a kangaroo like that.
That name is so fitting for a kangaroo.
Stevie.
Stevie the kangaroo.
You do a better Australian accent I could ever do. But
it was pretty impressive. I'm surprised from watching so much Bluey in my house, I haven't picked up.
It's so cute.
A little bit of an Australian accent.
It'll come eventually, right?
Probably.
We got a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m. It's Cyber Monday coming up, where you can get the best deals of the day.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Sixa's mediocre pet portraits are back this Giving Tuesday for just $10. One of their amateur artists will make a fun picture that makes a great gift.
I need to be one of these artists. I draw pictures of Cooper all the time.
Do you?
I do. They're not very good.
You're lying.
No, I do. So like whenever, so whenever.
Cooper's just laying there.
Whenever he's like, draw me like one of your French girls, Jack. Whenever I draw with Hudson, I like to draw Cooper.
Oh, that's
it's kind of fun.
Oh, so precious.
You can now visit one of Dayton's most beloved holiday traditions, the Reich's Holiday Windows. I love these so much. You can stop by the Schuster Center during the week until 5 p.m. to view the decorations. A Dayton institution was down at the old Reich's department store for many decades, but now they've got them up at the Schuster Center.
Yeah, I love this tradition.
It's so cool.
Windows.
I remember my grandma always taking me by them when I was a kid, and we've taken the boys, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, so cute. And Greene Coffee in Sydney showing off their new holiday drinks. It includes a smoked butterscotch latte, yum, eggnog chai, and frosted mint matcha.
It is that time of year.
I need all 3 of those. I don't even know if I'm that big of a matcha or chai girl, but they all sound amazing.
They do flights there too, like coffee flights, so you could try them out. Yeah, I know my wife
you
is
might leave a little jittery, but
you might be. Yeah, I love coffee, but that's okay. I'm like that every day of the week anyway, so it's all right.
That's how we get through our week.
Yeah, all right. All right, we now want to give you a live look over the Miami Valley this morning. We are waking up and it is chilly.
It is chilly, and we apparently saw a little bit of SNOW last night.
That four-letter word that starts with S.
My least favorite word. So for a look of our morning forecast, we're going to send things over to Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters. Natalie, what can people expect for the morning commute?
A very cold morning commute for us, but we did see a few snowflakes out there late yesterday evening. No accumulation, obviously. And now it's just a cold day. Very winter-like start to the week. For right now, we're in the 20s and 30s. We got 29 in Troy, 30 in Dayton, 30 up in Wapakoneta right now. We do have wind chills in the teens and 20s, feeling like 20 in Dayton, 17 in Troy. Really just going to be a cold day, feeling like the 20s during most of the day today. So just be prepared to feel pretty chilly. Be bundled up during the day. But good news is it's quiet weather, no precipitation. Quiet for the morning commute, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy as we head into the afternoon with, again, quiet weather anticipated for us. So overall, it's looking pretty good, but I'll have a look at the rest of the week's forecast coming up here in just a bit. But for right now, let's take a look at what's going on those roads out there. We overall still sitting pretty quiet. Again, folks heading back to work and school today after a long weekend, so that's something that you'll want to keep in mind. Maybe allow a little bit of extra time, but as of right now, I'm not seeing any delays or accidents out on our roads.
An outpouring of support after a deadly charter bus crash in Licking County.
Carly Von Cleve shares how nonprofits have been working for weeks to help the victims' families by honoring the lives lost.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since that tragic charter bus crash along I-70 in Licking County. 6 people died and more than a dozen were hurt.
For me, this whole crash hit close to home because I used to be a marching band member at a school up in Marion County.
The bus was carrying Tusky Valley High School band members as they were heading to a conference in Columbus. Katie Kurtz has no connection to the Tusky Valley community, but she says she wanted to lend some comfort to the families in mourning.
And I just wanted to show the support to some of the families, let them know that we're there for them if they need anything.
Kurtz works with a local nonprofit called Ducks Helping Heroes. The organization helps show appreciation to first responders and law enforcement officers. Kurtz says after hearing about the bus crash, the group wanted to do something in an effort to lift spirits. It started with one cross placed along I-70 at the scene of the crash.
We kept having cars honking at us, and we had a trooper stop, and he was one of the troopers who was there on that accident. And he thanked us for what we were doing.
Their efforts didn't stop there. Kurtz and volunteers with the nonprofit made 6 more crosses, one for each of the people who died that day.
It was very emotional. I had several people come up and hug me. And
Kurtz tells us she delivered the crosses to an area church Sunday morning. She was able to meet some family members of the victims, offering a bit of comfort as they work through the pain.
We are here for you. If you need us, just reach out.
Centerville police are asking for your help finding a missing woman. Take a look at your screen. This is 22-year-old Samantha Sammy Visnick. She's been missing since Thanksgiving, and she was last seen near Wassam Circle in Penn Ridge in Centerville. Sammy has blonde hair and brown eyes. If you have any information about where she could be, you're asked to call Centerville Police. That number is on your screen right now. You can also email Detective Ratliff, who's handling the case. That email is also on your screen.
Tensions in the Middle East are easing, at least temporarily. Hamas releasing a group of 17 hostages yesterday.
This comes as the militant group says it is willing to extend its 4-day truce with Israel. John Lawrence reports.
Thousands of people in an open market in Deir al-Balah on Sunday getting necessities like food and clothing for the first time in weeks.
We were afraid to go out because of the missiles and the airstrikes. But since the first day of the ceasefire, we have been able to go out to buy our needs safely.
During the 4-day truce with the Israeli military, Hamas has released dozens of hostages, and the Palestinian Red Crescent Society says it's delivered around 100 trucks worth of aid to northern Gaza.
Nothing is being taken for granted, but the proof that this is working and worth pursuing further is in every smile and every grateful tear we see on the faces of those families who are finally getting back together again.
In a statement Sunday night, Hamas says it wants, quote, to extend the truce after the 4-day period ends through serious efforts to increase the number of those released from imprisonment as stipulated in the humanitarian ceasefire agreement. Israel's ambassador to the United States, meanwhile, is stressing this is a pause, not a ceasefire.
Israel cannot and will not allow itself to stop pushing against Hamas to remove that threat following October 7th, because we cannot allow ourselves to have Hamas continue to rule Gaza, rearm, regroup, and strike again.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Black Friday numbers are in and retailers are smiling. Several reports show Friday's holiday sales broke records. In-store and online, retail sales were both up from last year. Adobe Analytics reports $9.8 billion in online sales alone on Black Friday. That's up 7.5% from 2022.
And today, Americans are expected to spend even more. It's Cyber Monday and a great time to get those deals you're missing out on during Black Friday. Experts say people are expected to spend about $12 billion, topping Friday's massive sales. Stores will be offering great deals online all day long. Best Buy is offering up to 50% off laptops, TVs, and even kitchen appliances. And at Target, you could save up to 30% on clothes and even more on toys and home goods. They also have their price match guarantee in place until Christmas Eve.
As you place those orders today, beware porch pirates. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is sharing tips on how to protect your packages as they get delivered. First, if you're not going to be home for a while, see if a trusted neighbor can grab the package for you. You can also install a camera or a doorbell with a camera. Some companies allow you to require a signature to receive a package. You can also use a package receiving service if it's available. If your package is stolen, you can file a police report and a report with the delivery company.
Grab your skates and hit the ice. The Riverscape Ice Rink is now officially open for the season. If skating isn't for you, you can hang out in the comfort tent, which is always kept at a warm 70 degrees, or grab a cup of hot cocoa. Daily admission $7 or $10 if you need to rent skates. The Metro Park also offers season passes. The rink's open 7 days a week except Christmas Day through February.
Sounds so fun.
Ice skating.
Yes,
falling on my butt.
I honestly would just stay in the 7-degree tent pretending like I'm on a beach.
They got, yeah, okay, in your dreams. Our time right now is 6:09. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
You need to move to Florida, Alex.
I know.
People now being left stranded after a 3-year cruise was suddenly canceled. Just ahead, the company's reason for the closure.
You're watching your
it is a cold start to the morning. There's a look over downtown Dayton right now. A pretty start to the day, but it is cold, so you'll need to bundle up, maybe allow a little extra time to warm up your car this morning too, because it is pretty chilly out there. Going to be looking at just a cold day, clouds streaming through on and off during the day today with temperatures that are going to be in the 30s. This is a look at about 7 p.m. Already seeing temperatures fall. In fact, it's going to get even colder as we head overnight. Waking up tomorrow morning with lower 20s, could even see some teens. Factoring in the wind chills are going to be very cold too. I'm going to take a look at that. But here's a look tomorrow afternoon. We're going to struggle to get out of the 20s for our day on Tuesday. And then eventually we rebound as we head into our Wednesday, back up close to 40 degrees by noon. And I do think we'll get into those lower 40s by our Wednesday. As far as wind chills go, it is going to be very cold starting off our day tomorrow. Now keep in mind this is just one forecast model, but I think we very well could be in the single digits for wind chills by early tomorrow morning. So it is going to be very cold out there. Certainly a shock to the system and a taste of winter that has returned to the Miami Valley, and it will feel like the teens during the day tomorrow as our winds over these next couple of days will be between about 10 to 15, maybe even up to 20 miles per hour. But again, single digit wind chills as we head overnight. Tomorrow our highs, they're going to get back up to around 30 degrees with those wind chills that will be in the teens with our extended forecast. Quiet weather at least next several days. We got 40s returning by Wednesday. By Thursday, back up to 50 degrees, and the chance for rain returns by next Friday, and another chance for rain on Sunday with those highs in the 50s. That's a look at our forecast. Quick look at what's going on the roads this morning. Still very quiet at this hour. Haven't seen any reports of accidents at this hour, but be extra careful as you're heading back to work or school on this Monday morning.
Hello, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. It's been more than a week since Joe Burrow's wrist injury that ended his 2023 season early. So Jake Browning is the next man up, making his first NFL start, and the Cincinnati Bengals going for their first division win of the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go to Paycor Stadium. Steelers would punt on their first drive, but Browning has quite the introduction to the Pittsburgh defense. Looking for an open man on third down, TJ Watt forces a fumble. Jonah Williams prevents the turnover, but the Steelers still get great field position in the red zone. A handoff to Jalen Warren. He'll go up the left side, but the ball is knocked loose here. It's recovered by DJ Turner, who gets a great return out of it as well. However, the Steelers do kick a field goal later to go up 3-0. Second quarter, Bengals would answer. Browning will find Drew Sample open on the far sideline. Sample able to muscle his way into the end zone. Home team is up 7-3 at halftime. Third quarter, Bengals are in the red zone again. Browning trying to get into a groove. However, this throw to his left is going to be intended for Jamar Chase. Intercepted by Trenton Thompson. That stopped the drive, and then the Steelers then go on the long drive of their own and capitalize. Najee Harris up the middle at first, but cuts left and takes it to the outside for a touchdown. Visitors back in front 10-7. They would kick a pair of field goals, so leading 16-7 in the fourth. Browning with a short completion to Joe Mixon, who gets multiple blocks. A first down pass midfield. The Bengals kick the field goal to make it a one-score game, then go for an onside kick, but the Steelers recover and go on to win 16-10 the final. The Bengals have now lost 3 straight and are now 5-6.
I thought he handled some things really well for us, and it's a tough task to play a divisional game versus a good defense in your first game. There's going to be plenty of things he can learn from. I told him just welcome. This is just the first chapter in his story, of getting to play a real football game and getting a chance to assess his performance.
Some ups, some downs. Definitely not my best game. Just try to keep fighting. I think starting with the first drive, kind of getting settled in. Felt like there were times where I was settled in. It was not up to my standard of how I would have liked to play.
So 6 games left in the regular season for the Cincinnati Bengals. They will be on the road next Monday night when they take on the leaders in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
It was an exciting weekend for high school football. 4 teams from the Miami Valley heading to Canton next weekend for the state championship games. Versailles is the first of the area teams to play Friday morning, with Springfield meeting St. Edward that night. Then Saturday, Marion Local plays for the Division 7 title against Dalton. And Saturday night, the Alternites will play for the Division 4 crown against reigning state champ, the Cleveland Glenville. Good luck to all 4 local teams heading to Canton.
Our time right now is 6:22. Digital producer Max waiting in the wings. Your Facebook poll question coming up in minutes.
You're watching Your Day.
Cranberry sauce.
Well, now time for our pet of the day. It is a cold day for a dog walk, but here's a look at sweet Marlin. This is the pup of Chad and Brandy Hopkins, and she is absolutely adorable. So thank you for sharing your sweet pet with us today. Again, if you are taking your pet for a walk, it is going to be a chilly one across the area with temperatures that are going to be in the 30s throughout the day. Mix of sun and clouds during the day too, so make sure you are bundled up. Temperatures tonight, it's going to be a frigid one too, dropping to 20 for overnight low. Wind chills in the single digits as we head overnight. By tomorrow, we'll see our highs back up to 30 degrees with those wind chills in the teens. So very cold winter-like day on the way for our Tuesday. Next several days also showing how cold we'll be. Again, with 30s next couple of days, still below normal, but warmer on Wednesday. But we do get back up to 50 with rain developing by later this week. That's a look at our forecast. Quick look at the roads this morning where it is still very quiet. Going to be overall a quiet start as far as weather goes on the roads, so that's good news. But it is cold and lots of folks heading back to work and school today after a long weekend, so make sure you're being extra safe out there.
All right, digital producer Max coming off fresh from Thanksgiving weekend, eating everything in his sight.
Nathan, not everything. You know, I didn't eat any of the stuffing, but I had so much cranberry sauce.
I'm proud of you.
So much potato casserole. It was a great time.
We're talking shopping now, so what's the poll question, Max?
It is Cyber Monday. I'm sure Alex has been online shopping this whole day. Yeah.
I have not even looked at anything.
I've been perusing the deals a little bit.
I know. That was Elisa's thing.
Wow, shoot. Okay.
So it's Cyber Monday, some great deals. It got me thinking, what's the dumbest impulse buy you've ever made?
Okay, I was struggling on like impulse buys per se, but I will say the dumbest thing I've ever made was going cheap on household appliances because I found a really good deal on one.
Yeah.
And it ended up leaking within a few months, ruining my entire kitchen floor that I had to replace floor and get a new washer at the same time.
Oh, that's rough.
All because I wanted a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes those good deals, it's a good deal because
they bite you in the butt.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, I struggled with this one as well because I am not an impulse buyer. I am cheap as well, but I can't think of anything, so I'm gonna have to.
Sure thing.
think
We'll
on
come back
this
to you.
one.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say mine is probably like food purchases. Like if I'm out at a restaurant, like just being like, oh, I want this. I mean, it's not like I regret it, but like, I don't know.
Definitely
I always
didn't need
come
it.
in not anticipating spending as much as I did.
Yeah.
That's Yeah.
You know, this was a debate. I brought this up before. It's written down in the lore of Max that I once bought the 15 pounds of frozen fish because it was like 89 cents a pound. That's too good to pass up.
It was tilapia.
Yeah, that's
Frozen tilapia. Girlfriend did not like that I was microwaving it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it a bad
Do you have
purchase.
an air fryer?
I do now. I didn't have the time.
You're lucky you still have a girlfriend, Max.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah,
Bless
well,
her.
hop on Facebook, answer our poll question. We'll talk with Max here again in a few minutes.
Our time right now is 6:29, taking a live look over the Miami Valley thanks to Skycams. Dayton waking up to a freezing start to the day. Meteorologist Natalie Walters bringing today's forecast just ahead.
And some of the hostages being held by Hamas are now free. Just ahead, the reaction from people across the U.S.
But first, here's Julie Moran with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
I've got some numbers for you. Listen to this. In 2021, there were 1.4 million assaults in the United States. Staying safe is a primary concern for us and the people we care about. And I found something I really like. It's this little mini safety alarm. It's called Bling Sting. It's little, but it's going to give you peace of mind. This thing is loud. It's 125 decibels, louder than a siren. Take a listen because it's loud. It's loud. It has a flashlight, so if you're fumbling around for your keys like I do, you can use the flashlight. It's so tiny and it attaches to your purse, your backpack, your belt bag, whatever. So if you're out walking the dog, if you park in a parking garages used to just really make me a little nervous. This would be great to have. It's TSA compliant. You can take it on a plane. If you're just out by yourself at night, this is going to be a great thing to have, or even say you're walking around campus during the day. I got one for my stepdaughter, my sister, myself. I bought a bunch of gifts because I just think they'll make nice things to help keep people safe. Not to mention, I really like the on-trend, the camo colors. When I opened the package, I thought, oh, this is so cute. It's cute and it keeps me safe, so I'm all about it. Right now, we're offering up to 25% off Bling Sting. Just head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Mariah Carey is raking in the dough during the holidays. The Economist reports she gets about $2 million a year in royalties.
Oh yeah.
For
all I want for Christmas is you.
the song came out 29 years ago, and Nathan is recreating it, so stand by for that release.
Yeah, poor, I don't even know what to say. I was going to say pour bleach into your ears, but I don't think that would work. All right, sorry. A group of people got stuck on a ride in Universal Studios in Florida. Check this out. They got stuck while going up a 90-degree vertical lift on the Hollywood Rip Ride rocket. So literally they're just like on their backs like that.
That's not fun. That's terrifying. I would just be waiting for it to fall back.
Yeah, I don't know. This looks not so appealing. Like rides like this are looking less and less appealing.
It makes me so angry because I love roller coasters, but
that's terrifying.
I don't,
Yeah, nightmare fuel for sure.
And over in California's Disneyland, video shows that this man just hanging out on the ride. It's a small world. He eventually stripped naked before police arrest him. And this is a kid's ride, so as you can imagine, quite a show for those
It's
kiddos.
a small world, leave me alone! He just wants to go to another country and sit in his, Maybe he needs a therapist.
I think that is the case. I think so.
Yes, that's it.
Well, we are waking up to a freezing cold morning in the Miami Valley.
Yeah, we even saw a few snowflakes overnight. So let's check in with meteorologist Natalie Walters. The chief is in the house. That's right. What about that?
Good morning. Yeah, we had a few snowflakes around the area yesterday. No accumulation, of course, but that rain we saw eventually transitioned to some very light snow. Right now it's just cold, though. 29 in Troy. We got 30 Urbana, 29. Current temperature in Eaton right now, 30 up in Wapakoneta. But we do have a wind chill. Factoring in the wind this morning, wind chills in the teens, feels like 20 in Dayton, feels like 19 in Wapakoneta. So heading out, kids back to school this morning, you will want to be, of course, bundled up because it is feeling pretty chilly out there. As far as that morning commute goes, going to be quiet for the morning hours, not anticipating really any as rainfall or precipitation across the area, so that's good news. And same thing for the evening commute. Things are going to be quiet too, with no precipitation in the forecast. So looking pretty good as you're heading back to work or school this morning. That's a quick look at your forecast, and you can see that here on the roads that is the case, that we really don't have any weather to disturb the roads this morning, although it is an extra cold start. Haven't seen much in the way of delays at this hour other than your typical spots, but no accidents to report of as of right now.
Kids in Centerville can soon get easier access to pediatric health care. Dayton Children's Hospital opening a new Kids Express location tomorrow. The on-demand service treats kids 6 weeks to 18 years old. It'll be open 7 days a week with specially trained pediatric nurses. They can treat ear and sinus infections, cold and flu symptoms, COVID-19, and a whole lot more. That new location opens up tomorrow at the Sugar Creek Plaza on Wilmington Pike.
A teenager is still recovering after a shooting Saturday night. It happened just before 6 p.m. off of West Fairview Avenue. A 15-year-old was shot in the neck and taken to Miami Valley Hospital. The teen is expected to be okay. Police are still searching for suspects.
Today, she's free, and Jill and I, together with so many Americans, are praying for the fact that she is going to be all right. You know, she's free and she's in Israel now.
People across the U.S. celebrating the release of some hostages in Gaza, including a 4-year-old Abigail Eden. She was one of hundreds being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza. Hamas turning over 13 Israelis, 8 children and 5 women to the International Red Cross. The group also released 12 citizens from Thailand, and Israel freed 39 jailed Palestinians Saturday.
So we're going to continue to be diligent and vigilant in doing all that we can in that regard to ensure that there is humanitarian aid going in, that hostages are going out, and our highest priority, of course, are the American citizens who are being held.
That was Vice President Kamala Harris after the initial release of hostages on Saturday. She says the return of American hostages remains the Biden administration's highest priority.
Taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, where this week the Senate and House are expected to vote on different aid packages related to Israel-Hamas conflict, including one that will give aid to Israel and Ukraine. Congressman Mike Turner predicting a difficult path forward for any package relating to two conflicts. Now the Ohio Republican saying such a bill is unlikely to pass before the end of the year. He believes that's because President Biden also tied funding for the southern border into the request. Apart from the $60 billion for Ukraine and $14 billion for Israel, Biden's also asking for $14 billion for border security.
But it's going to need policy changes. Congress is going to require that there be laws changed to make certain that the border returns to its prior state, perhaps remain in Mexico, other types of provisions that would secure the southern border.
House Republicans passed a $14 billion aid deal just for Israel earlier this month, but that package faced an uphill battle in the Senate, as well as opposition from the White House because it leaves out Ukraine and uses funds cut from the IRS. People flocked to Dayton to burn off those Thanksgiving calories for a good cause. The city held its 9th annual Turkey Trot yesterday.
Abby Forbes shares how this run gives back to our community.
More than 1,000 people gathered at Welcome Stadium to run in this year's Dayton Turkey Trot. People are up bright and early for this year's run. They had the option of running a 5K or a half marathon, and the top runners received awards. But the run is about more than winning, with a portion of the proceeds going to a charity each year. This year to the YWCA.
It's a very great partnership that we've been working with them for many years, and then we think that they have support great cause, and we love helping supporting great cause as well.
If you missed out this year, don't worry. It'll be going on again next year, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Back to you.
Dayton Metro Library is ringing in the holiday season. They're kicking off a new array of programs for all ages. Now, tonight at Northmont Branch, you can head out and watch the screening of Elf. That starts tonight at 6. Make sure you register your family in advance. The library's got more events across all their branches all season long. Check them out at DaytonMetroLibrary.org.
Our time right now is 6:40. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeffschman Auto Group.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is a cold one out here on our Watson's weather patio. Chilly conditions across the area. This is what it feels like. So these are our wind chills right now. 20 is what it feels like in Dayton. It feels like 18 in Springfield. Feels like 18 in Richmond. So grab a coat and bundle up this morning. Definitely going to be on the cold side. This is what we're expecting for the rest of the morning. So again, this is our air temperature, right around 30 degrees through the late morning. We don't warm up too much for this afternoon. But again, factoring in the wind chill, it's going to feel even colder. Wind chill is expected to be in the 20s during the day today, but we have even colder air that is on the way for us. I will have more on what we're expecting for the rest of the week and talk about when we get some rain back in the picture too in just a bit.
We now want to give you a live look at the Atlanta airport. Now, many Americans are ending the Thanksgiving holiday on a sour note. More than 7,000 flights delayed Sunday, with 46 cancellations according to the FlightAware website. What a bummer. Numerous major airports predicted a busy day. AAA reported 55.4 million Americans traveled for the weekend. That's a 2.3% hike from last year. The agency says nearly 5 million flew to their destination.
Our time right now is 6:45. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, everyone. Very winter-like morning across the Miami Valley. Out on the weather patio, I was out there just earlier. There's actually a couple of flurries flying through the sky. Nothing, of course, too significant out there, but they are going to be dealing with some lake effect snowfall just east of Cleveland, anticipating at least 6 inches of accumulating snowfall east of Cleveland due to some lake effect snow. Again, just some flurries for us here in the Miami Valley with some clouds around too, and it is cold. We got 30s across the area. We got 28 in Richmond, 29 in Eaton, 30 in Dayton right now. Factoring in the wind, and we're going to have a little breeze today, tonight, and tomorrow between about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it is going to feel colder. So right now it feels like the teens and 20s, feels like 19 in Troy. During the day today, we'll see clouds streaming through again, a couple of flurries making their way in as well. Starting out very cold on our Tuesday, waking up to teens, potentially could see some single-digit wind chills by early tomorrow morning, and then we stay pretty chilly for our Tuesday afternoon. There's a look at those potential wind chills by tomorrow morning, maybe around 0. Some models indicating maybe below 0 wind chills early tomorrow. Either way, it's going to be cold, and then only feeling like the teens tomorrow afternoon, where we do get some improvement by our Wednesday time frame. We'll eventually see those temperatures begin to climb back into, although wind chills, teens and 20s, we actually get into the 40s by Wednesday afternoon. 50, as you can see, for your high temperature on Thursday. Friday, we got a chance for rain. Another chance for rain arrives on Sunday as well, with temperatures returning much closer to normal for this time of the year by later this week. That's a look at our forecast. Quick look at the roads this morning. Still very quiet. Haven't seen any significant delays across the Miami Valley, so shaping up pretty nicely for us. But again, it is back to work and school after a long weekend, so you may be a little sluggish, so hopefully you allow some extra time before you head out the door this morning. I feel like we're all maybe a little extra sluggish this morning.
Oh.
Lots of turkey.
Yeah.
It's more than turkey. I just,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, Nathan had a long weekend, so.
Yeah, I did. And I'm just like dead this morning. And then you worked
Yeah.
last night, and now here you are this morning. So
Yeah, you out of any of us.
It's all right. I'll make it work. You guys are keeping me awake. I had some coffee, gingerbread latte from Starbucks, which
Starbies for the win.
Yes, shout out to our producer Kelsey for that.
That's all you need. You got to wake up. Our time right now is 6:52. It's Cyber Monday. Coming up, we're going to score the best deals of the day.
You're watching your